Winter is here. This week, I'm going to start making a new island, the Ice Kingdom. So far, I have the medieval forest and a tropical island. In Blender, I can duplicate the tropical island and change it to have a snowy texture. To make it look freezing, I'll add ice blocks around the island. And this will prevent the player from being able to swim there. Godot has a really in-depth particle system. I followed this tutorial by DevPoodle by using a radial gradient texture and spawning in a box shape, then adding accelerations, dampening and colour ramps. We now have lots of snow falling across the Ice Kingdom, and I'll play this wind sound to add to the effect. As we can't swim onto the new island, we'll need something to take us there. I have the autism, so for some reason that means you have to like trains. I don't make the rules, and steam trains are the best kind, so let's put one inside my game. A Path 3D node is just the thing we need, and this great video by Craig's First Game Dev really helped explain it to me. A Path 3D lets us make smooth paths in 3D space, and a Path Follow 3D node can follow our new path, and we can add anything as a child of said node. At first I thought I would need to make a separate rail mesh in Blender and then line it up, but the Path 3D node has that sorted. By adding a CSG Polygon 3D node, we can make it wide, and then set it to display our path 3D, and then drop a texture on it. If we change the layout of the path, everything will update with it. I quickly whipped up this train model in Blender, and set it as a child of the path follow node. To make this move around a track, we can make a speed variable, and then add it to the progress value, and times that by delta. Delta is the time between frames. It can make something move at a consistent speed not tied to your frame rate. It's working, but this still needs work. I'll split the engine and carriages into their own path follow nodes, and then move them back by adjusting the progress ratio value in the inspector, and that's much better. To make our train stop and start at a station, we can add a raycast at each station. If raycast 1 detects the train, it will turn off and turn on raycast 2, and vice versa. If something is moving fast, it shouldn't just stop at an instant, so using move towards, we can smoothly change the value of the train's movement speed. Now when it enters a station, it will slow down, wait a few seconds, and speed back up. Now we have everything set up, I can replace our train model. When I was a little kid, we couldn't afford the fancy expensive toy train sets, so I grew up with pre-owned wooden trains and tracks. This is what I'm going to base our new train on. I'll start in Blender with simple shapes, and I'll use my favourite tool to bevel any sharp edges. Maybe in the future I will add different colours to choose from, but I'll make it blue for now, then I can duplicate the base and wheels to make the cargo carriage. It's carrying rainbow cool. It would be fun to see our knight inside the passenger carriage, so I'll give it windows and a nice comfy seat. And it's done. What do you think? I'll put together the station with the same style of simple rounded shapes. Here's a good tip. If your mesh has lots of geometry that the player is going to get stuck on, you can block out a simple version of your mesh just for collisions. If you add -cool to the end of its name, it will automatically generate a static body and collision shape when you export it into Godot. Then just hide the boxy version, and now your model has all the right collisions that won't cause your player to get stuck. I just have to switch out the placeholder meshes with our new shiny meshes, and now our train is almost ready. I'll add a new particle node to create a steam effect that will emit when the engine is in motion. Using areas and variables, I can check what station the train is at, if we are at the same station, and if so, we can enter the train. But here we have run into a problem. Both our train and player have their own physics and code. Rather than putting our complicated player inside the train, I've come up with an easier solution. Faking it. I'll add a new mesh of our player character sitting inside the carriage, and our fake player won't have any player inputs, physics or gravity. And once we enter the train, we can hide our main character, turn off his controls, teleport him to the next station, and show our fake character. And once we arrive at the next station, we can hide our fake character and show our main character, and return the control to him. To make this look seamless, I'll turn off our main camera, and add 3 new cameras. An animation player can then turn them on or off and move them to create an interesting cutscene. To test elements of my game, I've been using a separate test scene. This is a good idea if you need to focus on just one thing without the entire game world getting in the way. Now our train is ready, I'll move it to our main game scene, and I just have to move points on the path node to make it cover both the medieval forest and tropical island. And I put together this bridge model made from blocks, so our track isn't floating above water. It looks a bit messy, and the train takes up most of the island, but I'll be improving the world in a future update. But our train system is working perfect. We can enter our train, a fun cutscene plays, we travel across the bridge, and I've dropped off in the new Ice Kingdom. Now my game is 50% more autistic, I think this is a good time to focus on building onto the Icy Kingdom. I have ideas for pine trees and a Yeti NPC, so join me next time if you enjoyed, and you can subscribe to my channel. And a big thank you to my amazing Patreon supporters.